with the caffeine.
It's too early.
All right, welcome back to episode 11 of Breakpoints. With me, as always, is Taylor Crawford and Zach Phillips, otherwise known as Aggrablaze96. You can read across his forehead anytime you see him. We don't have any special guests this week. It's just going to be us talking to you. We got a lot to talk about, though. Super Slam just came out this weekend. It's looking really cool. A lot of these decks, at least on the bare minimum, look like a lot of fun, which is always something great to work through. But before we get into that, Taylor, how was your weekend?
It's been going really well. I got to go watch a movie with Aaron. That was fun. I hung out with my wife. I played some Flesh and Blood. I worked 40 hours, so that kind of sucked. But
it's always
I'm
the worst.
still waiting. Yeah, dude, it's the worst. I don't get it. I just want to do all this stuff, but whatever. I'm still waiting for the Marlin card to be programmed into Talishar, so I'm just patiently waiting on that. I just want to double goldfish people, but what can you do? I did some early testing for the new heroes that we'll talk about later. We definitely have some thoughts on it. I know I've been working a little bit with Sam and Aaron and those guys. We'll chat about those, but that's been a pretty good week. How about you?
My week has been, very similar. I also went to go see a movie. I don't know if it's the same one. I went to go see the Demon Slayer movie last night.
Oh wait, dude, look at us! Look at us! This is what we went to go see together. Oh my god, you could have came with us.
I'll just drive all the way down to Carolina and watch
Yeah,
it. But
come on, dude.
It was really good. I thought,
No,
just visually, movie looked incredible.
yes.
Just
the last hour could be cut down. That was my one. I walked out. I was like, dude, that last hour could have just been like.
Well,
20
without
minutes
getting any
short.
spoilers on it, last hour I thought was still good. It wasn't
Okay.
Anyway, don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't watched it yet. But yeah, doing some testing, checking out these new heroes. I think I'm more excited personally for the revered heroes. But right across from me here, Zach, I think you're a lot more excited for the reviled heroes. How was your week?
My week was good. Sam is 100% correct. I'm definitely more excited for the reviled heroes. RKO looks pretty cool, but I am definitely on the Lyath train. I've already bought a Marvel Lyath hero, and I've already bought a couple of Marvel Liar's charms from people who were at the world premiere. So a huge shout out to Rose, my friend, who went and was basically looking for these cards for me. You guys may or may not have heard, but I was on this small podcast this week called Arsenal Pass, which was really cool. When Pankaj reached out about me being on Arsenal Pass, I was really excited. So that was really fun to do that and discuss Super Slam and all those things. I've been working on the Lyath deck. I haven't really had a chance to play test it because a lot of the cards aren't coded, but I've just been brewing up what I think the deck might look like and stuff like that. I'm excited to chat with you all and see how you all feel about the deck and what differences of opinions we may have had so far, because just some pre-podcast banter, it sounds like we might have went some different directions, which I'm excited.
No, us? No. Are you
Never,
sure?
right? But no,
Never.
it's been a good week. I'm playing some golf this afternoon, which I am horrible at, but I love to play golf. So it's been a pretty good week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I feel really spoiled with how I'm used to these Talishar updates coming out, and the next day we're able to play with all the cards. But the guy who does most of the coding is actually enjoying himself in Montreal, which is totally fine. But I'm a little sad that I don't get to play test the cards immediately.
Dude, I get it so much. And the funniest part is whenever I'm live, people are like, when are you playing Lyath? And I'm like, when the cards are spoiled? Let's give them maybe more than 5 minutes for them to put the cards into the system. But I get it. I'm also the same way. The Talishar devs and the coders have spoiled us 110% with how fast the cards get flipped around. And also, you know who else spoils us? Phil at February. Getting the cards loaded into February super fast so that we can start building decks and doing all these things. They spoil the crap out of us.
Oh yeah, he's awesome.
I also want to give a shout out to Tyler, who does a lot of the databasing, the FabCube database, which keeps the card pictures and everything for the February. I want to give him a shout out too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's that's when you start digging deeper into who's running the show. It's everything's ran on was it FabCube's database?
I actually didn't know that, so that's really cool.
Yeah.
Those guys are great.
So,
oh man.
I want to talk about the new heroes really badly. I'm trying to keep it in here, but I want to talk about them.
Dude, let's do it. Run with it.
It's release weekend. What is the card you guys are most excited about so far?
Oh, dude, I didn't expect this question. It wasn't on the sheet that I had to read.
It's even in the show notes. You knew it was coming.
Wait, it was? Oh my god, I should have looked that one up. I didn't.
I'm gonna take a little bit of a cheap answer here. I think that the Liar's Charm is probably my favorite card, like that I've seen so far. And I know that we've seen this one for a while, but like I don't know, the card's just so like it's just so thematic. It says Lyath in the background. We got this like Joker looking grin going on in the card. Like the art, all of it, the Marvel looks absolutely amazing. So I don't know. If there is a weird world where we're not playing Liar's Charm, feels highly impossible in my opinion. But if there's a world where we're not playing this card, I'm going to be very, very disappointed because I want to play all 3 Marvel copies of this card.
Well, we can talk about that card later.
Oh boy.
I'll
Oh
tell you,
boy.
my favorite art in this whole set is Young Lyath. That Marvel is so sick looking. Just him in the chair with the wine goblet, the lion at his feet. Like, oh, sick
Okay.
vibes.
I'll fist fight anybody on this one. The best art in the set is definitely Sit.
Sit?
It's all right. I gotta find it. Maybe
Sit?
I'm wrong.
Was there more to this?
It's a
Oh,
guardian.
the giant hand?
Dude,
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
it's so good. It's so good. I was like, dude, I had me croak the first time I saw it.
Oh, you're right, dude. I don't think I've even seen this card yet. Oh my goodness.
I love
Dude, it's
that.
so funny.
Amazing.
It's just a limited card, but dude, it just got me rolling when I saw it. I was like, oh, God.
Oh,
That
that's
card's going to be
incredible.
insane in draft, though.
Yeah,
yeah.
probably.
I mean,
Yeah.
Too bad we
it's a-
won't ever find out, but
Ooh.
I really wish they would have scheduled some limited events, not just
Oh my god,
zero. But
Sam,
it is what it
just
is.
calling them out to start the show. Let's do it. Hell yeah.
All right, Taylor, what's your favorite card so far?
Excluding the expansion slot, I think my favorite card as of right now is probably No Hero Stands Alone. As Sam is probably already aware that I think that card is just like insane. I think that's like the best card in the set and not particularly close in my opinion. But
Oh. I had to look it up because I don't know all the names yet, but dude, this card's nuts. I think I
Dude.
spent like a solid 20 minutes talking about this card and all of its applications when it got spoiled on my stream one night.
dude, I've been like playtesting a lot of Tuffnut, trying to figure out the ratios because like 3 intellect's kind of interesting. Dude, this card is just like it's so insane. Every time it hits the combat chain, you're just like, this card's broken. Like from Arsenal, here my 0 for 7. They're just like, cool.
Except through that Lyath we played last night, or the Lyath game we played last night versus Tuffnut, where he lost the clash to Lyath. Oh, that was
I love my.
I
really
actually
saucy.
so like piggybacking off this card for a second here, I really like that they're leaning into the ambush mechanic. Like that is a really, really
don't.
cool mechanic that I think lines up well.
See, I
in-
don't.
You don't?
I don't like.
the Taylor.
It's really cool. Whether Taylor likes it or not, I think it's good for the game because it gives the developers something to put into the game that's not just 0 for 4 defense reactions at every turn or like something like crazy like that. So I think these ambush cards line up well. Now, Taylor probably doesn't like No Hero Standalone being ambushed because it's like absolutely insane. Like you can just block CNC like off this card, which is like kind of nuts. So I mean, like I get what you're saying, but no, dude, this is good for the game. Come on.
I think it's really good for
Okay.
Tuffnut in particular because the opportunity cost of running defense reactions is so high. Like flipping that off of the top of your Tuffnut ability is like game losing. Sometimes it feels like.
Crowd would
So-
be booing you at that point.
Yeah, really. So, I guess my favorite card from the set so far, oh gosh, I just had it pulled up. It's Never Give Up. We've been talking a lot about this card. It's the recurring +3 block at the cost of 2 resources. It's a yellow. I think that's a very interesting design space and kind of like, you know how Via has like Guardian of the Shadow Realm, and you can kind of
Yeah.
play that in matchups where you really need that extra block value,
Mm-hmm.
at reaction speed. So it's a little bit more flexible at a higher cost, I think. The fact that it kind of always exists as like a 5th card in your hand you could make an inefficient play with is really cool. I think it's very valuable too if you like are worried about playing as maybe a ninja and they ancestral empowerment and they're going to get their mask trigger, and you're like, okay, well, I'll just boom, bump it up to 5, So,
Yeah.
card's really cool. A lot of opportunities for it. It's a really nice anti-fatigue tool for these heroes too. Pretty sick.
It's definitely a cool thing
So
to
wanna
like
give
have
it-
in your back pocket, like throughout the course of the game.
Yeah.
In limited, obviously, it's insane because like there's no weapons and like this is like just. I mean, like I'm gonna step out on the edge here. This might be pack one pick oneable. Honestly, like I think this card is like that powerful. The anti-fatigue
yeah.
synergy and being able to block. I think you could just like snap pick this pack one pick one.
And we'll never really know, but we can assume.
Won't, but exactly. Why do you think I get to make these ridiculous claims? Because it's like, who's gonna prove me wrong?
There's 3 people in the runaway drafts. Why are you there? One more card I want to give like a shout out to because of like the power level compared to what I was expecting was what happens next. That card has looked like insane. Like that card just like with like yeah.
This card
nuts.
looked really good in the Ponkage Scott game of
Staunch. I'm like,
Okay,
Get
for
out of
those
here,
who
dude.
don't know what this card does, it's a 0, 2-block blue card. Sorry, 0 cost, I should say. Suspense aura, so it enters the arena with 2 suspense counters. It's at instant speed, and it says the first card you play that costs 1 or more each turn costs 1 less to play.
that much less. Jesus.
Yeah, that much less. Oh my god, no,
I
sorry.
was like, Sam, easy over there, big
That
fella.
much is like the 1 is what I meant. But anyway, as I stumble through the new card.
Yeah,
Card is crazy. Like they were saying, a staunch with this in play with tunic, just like a 1
love
card
Shant.
7 off your tunic.
I love Shant.
It's like metamorph all over again, but defensively.
Well, what's crazier, in my opinion, and I think this is going to be some foreshadowing in the future, is if you look at the one of blue cycles for suspense cards, there's a extended art suspense is killing me, a extended art to be continued, and a non-extended art what happens next. My theory is what happens next, they know what's good, and there's an extended art going to be coming out in some promo in the next 3 months. Because, like,
have we seen ProQuest promos? Is it possible that could be ProQuest promos?
Very much could be. We haven't seen them yet.
I was like, or do you think that maybe like
calling it
common?
early? I like it.
I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. Like it could be something, but like maybe I don't know. Maybe at a common, maybe it's not pricey enough. You know, I mean, hey, if you're not paying $100 for battery to a pulp, like,
Dude,
did you even go?
I
to
would love
ProQuest
that,
season?
though.
Like, come on.
I would love that as like an attendance card.
Yes,
You know, like a participation.
that.
The participation guy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
just extended art cold foil one, dude. I would have to start losing in the finals of more ProQuest.
Oh boy.
Might be one of the funniest and most arrogant things you've ever said, all at the same time.
I'm excited.
We're both trying to go to
Please.
Yokohama. I don't think either of us are gonna do that, but
Honestly, if I was at the finals and the guy's like, "Hey, I just want to keep playing," I'm like, "Man, you can take it. I'm gonna go Yokohama. Then I'll just take the rest of the year off."
that's what I'm saying.
Facts.
Now we get the whole
Facts.
month. I've still got to get all this stuff moved in my house at some point.
Yeah, I actually have to take off the whole first week of ProQuest to go do something. So I'm just like, oh no.
I love that he said to go do something. Like he couldn't have been more ominous about this whole thing. And it's like week 1 of ProQuest season. It's Riftbound tournament, isn't it? Dog.
No.
Dog.
It's actually a
Just
golf
trolling you, man.
tournament.
Hey, you know what?
Ooh.
No shame. No shame. I love golf.
Yeah.
Riftbound, shame. Golf, you're good. In the clear.
Honestly, if you'd have said Magic, I'd have been like, pushing it here, Taylor. We're pushing it. Like,
Sam, first off, I'm a 30-year-old balding man, okay? Golf is like a hype, okay? Among my demographics. Like, if you're 30 and balding and you say golf, dude, they get instantly engaged. They lock in. They're like, oh shit, he golfs? Oh my god.
I saw a really funny thing talking about why people in their like late 20s and like in their 30s like obsess over golf. And it said if you play baseball, the chances of you hitting a 99-mile-an-hour fastball like over 400 feet out of like at like a home run is like nearly impossible as an average human being. But if you play golf, you have moments where you actually see what peak golf looks like, and you're chasing that grandeur the whole time of like what you could be. And I was like, you know what? That makes so much freaking sense to me.
That's weird.
Welcome to Breakpoints, the podcast about golf and all things not flesh and blood related.
Dude. So I had a buddy send me this week a screenshot. He was listening to our podcast and finished it at the end. It goes, these are recommended to you. And it was adult men with ADHD. It's like the first thing that popped up.
Well, I'm glad that I could help us live up to the name.
Zach, whenever we play next and you show up with like some fresh TaylorMades or Titleists, and but your camera quality hasn't gotten any better, I think we're gonna have to talk about stuff.
Oh my god.
Oh man. Bring us like a little ways back, but also at the same time, that new Pleaides Marvel looks crazy, and I wouldn't be surprised if a little bit of that, content creator grant would grabbing one of those beautiful.
I'm loving this, dude. I'm loving this.
I cannot. You guys are gonna be so insufferable with these creator grant jokes over the next, like, I don't know, like what?
You have no idea. It's always gonna get worse, buddy.
I know. I can't wait. And the best part is like people in the comments will jump in with you and be like, "Oh my god, I saw him buying foil fellings of the like crown."
Dude, that was actually like one of my favorite things. Is whenever you announced it, the next comment in your Discord was, "He can finally buy a Verdant stack." That shit have you rolling.
Yeah.
I was like, "That's cinema right there, baby. That's cinema."
Oh, that's so good.
But yes, the art on that is really cool. And Sam, you might want to like talk a little bit more about this because I hated Enigma, but I think you mentioned in our chat that like you wish that Enigma would have got this treatment. And to be fair, like when you said that, I was immediately like, oh, that would have been so like thematically perfect for Enigma if that had been her Marvel treatment.
Oh man, I can see it in my mind already how cool that would have looked. I'm just upset that Miss Veil was Japan set, and so we got the nice little weeaboo Enigma as our alt art instead of this awesome looking. Oh well, I'm just not into that, so it's not for me. But I would have loved this alt for Enigma, but
it would have been cool.
Made more people upset because more Enigma bling.
I am like crossing my fingers that Carly opens that in my case of Super Slam, so that like I can immediately just sell it and buy other stuff.
Just buy another 2 cases with what it's worth, I'm sure.
Yeah, honestly, right? Exactly.
This is going to be an understatement. I'm seeing them like 1,000 already on purple.
Yeah, they're going to be crazy expensive.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you know someone who's got some hot hands for opening cards, maybe you want to have them involved in your pack opening.
100%.
I guess kind of jumping around a little bit with our ideas here, though. The new cards that are coming out, they've got some sick alters, but there's some old cards coming out, like kind of a lot of them, and they're awesome reprints. Like we've seen it all now, so I can freely talk about the Earth reprints that we very much needed, and one that wasn't even spoiled, and I found out on release day. Snag, that card's like $40 a copy, albeit they banned bonds, so maybe a little bit late to the party on that one, but it was something that really needed reprinted, and like I'm loving the reprints that are coming out. We got the Warmongers coming out, another like $80 to $100 card. Oh, just keep feeding them to me. They're sick.
So I don't know if you guys remember this or not, and by that I mean if you don't, I'm going to be highly offended. When you all were in my stream chat trolling me one night, asking me, and it was like everybody. It wasn't just you guys. It was everybody being like, hey, what do you think about New Horizons reprint? And I think there's probably a clip of me being somewhere like, sure, like, whatever. I guess you could reprint New Horizons, but who gives a shit about that card? Like, and somebody was like, oh, what about, like, Warmongers? And I was like, hey, I think that's a good reprint. And then after a while, like, I look over and everybody in chat's laughing, and I'm like, what the hell are we all laughing about? I'm like, what's going on? Because for anybody who does not know, I avoided the leaks like the plague, trying to wait until all the cards were actually spoiled. But I'm glad you guys had a good time. I'm glad everybody had a good time at my expense that night.
It's actually like, it was so funny too, because like someone said New Horizons, and you're like, oh, why they reprint that? And I just like screenshotted that like line of text and sent it to Sam. I was like, I was giggling the whole time, and then I whooped your ass on Marlin.
Oh yeah, your mom. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, let's
so
forget
like
that part.
that whole like chat, like we went through the whole thing and it was like somebody was like, "Oh, like I was talking about how I would probably buy into Verdance if they reprinted Earth cards." I did not know that at the like that they were getting reprinted, and then I saw that and I was like, "Oh, well,
Whoa.
that's kind of cool. Like maybe I actually will play Florian and Verdance now. Like who knows?" And then after that, somebody was like, "What do you think about Flick Knives reprint?" And I was like, "I mean, it's like $100, I guess." I was like, "Sure, like it'd bring it down a little bit in price." I was like, "But
Right.
like," and I think I actively said, "But who plays this besides Syndra? Like whatever. Like I guess it's fine. Like sure." And then somebody asked me about the New Horizons, and I was like, "Y'all are on some serious cope right now." I was like, "They are not going to reprint New Horizons." I was like, "This is insanity."
The new art
That was
is
great.
awesome, though. Like, oh, I love
Yep. It is very,
it.
very
I love
nice.
these alt arts.
I completely agree with you. It's very nice.
All right, well, we'll bring it back in again here. So we've talked about everything except for the new heroes at this point. It feels like. Let's kind of walk it through. Zach, you're the one who's been loving it the most, so we'll start with you on Lyath. What do you think about Lyath? What's your direction with the deck? How you feeling about him?
I mean, originally I thought that we were gonna be playing a lot of like Peace of Mind, Oasis Respite, Fiddler's Green, like a lot of these like defensive cards. And by a lot, I mean like we were gonna have to like find the balancing act of like buffs and defensive cards and like also like attacks that work into the game plan. Since then, we have seen so many cool like tower, like like crush effect cards that are like yellow and 3 power that cost 0 that fit into the game plan so well that it feels like we're probably going to lean into like a buff heavy version. And I think that other people are probably going to be on more buffs than me. Like my original thought is the 0 costing with Go Again that makes 3 mites. I think that card's very, very powerful. The like you're all spoiler card, the Intimidate,
Oh yeah.
like that card's very powerful. The 2 for 4 that boos, the reviled one that boos like when you
Yes.
play it is really powerful. So there's a lot of these cards that fit in like really, really well. I've heard a few people say Razor Reflex and some things like that, but I don't really understand like the value in like trying to pitch and go wide. Like it feels like you're probably better off just doing like one attack for like 8 or 10 or 11 or something powerful like that. I do think that the bully tactics, the intimidate card, I think that card's really, really powerful. Like just being able to like keep a couple of cards, play some buffs, and then like strip cards from your opponent's hand is a really, really impactful thing to be able to do. So that's an automatic 3 of in my deck. So I don't know. I'm very excited for Lyath. I do think that you're probably going to have a sideboard plan in Lyath where you can transition into blocking a little bit better for Syndra, for some of the more aggressive aggro decks. And I think a card like Peace of Mind or a card like Fiddler's Green fits in pretty well. What's the 3 floating block card? They're like 3 floating spoilers.
Truth or Trickery.
Truth or Trickery, thank you.
Yes.
That's probably a good sideboard card to have, like, just to be able to, like, do things with. So I think there's definitely, like, a balancing act we're trying to walk, but it feels like he's going to be a lot more buff heavy than I originally thought.
Yeah, the direction we've been kind of looking with this guy is, we've been using the Cruel Ambition, which is your 0 cost, create 3 might tokens, Go Again. The Villainous Pose, the 2 for 4 that boos you with Go Again. Or, well, the 2 for 4 pump, I should say. And a lot of these cards that are those, like, they come in for 2, but they all say 3 in the bottom left, like little liars, like Lyath is. All of these, cut a long story short, to Wrecking Ball, just, a lot of these like very efficient when you get them pumped, having these like pretty decent crush effects. What I think might be really, really core to the deck in general, though, is evasion. Is one of the bigger things that this deck feels like it needs, because I think it's kind of an aggro deck that burns through cards like nobody's business, because you're playing like 1 extra card a turn. We're really enjoying a lot of these just like pump, 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 come in for 16 or 20 or whatever it is. And you're just like burning through your cards. So having a card like Bully Tactics in the list has been like really nice to try to get that evasion in. 2 steps ahead has been like an absolute all-star. It's a very like inconspicuous blue block 3 that actually gives you a ton of evasion on like 2 turns if you pair it with something like leave them hanging, or maybe like Act of Glory, any of these like suspense 2 auras that you can play. And they kind of fit the cost curve even defensively a little bit. If you wanted to like speed it up, you could like pair this with a Rampart. If you have to block a little bit, maybe your hand isn't conducive to attacking this turn. You want to do like this on-turn, off-turn cycle that they're trying to set up with these suspense cards, it feels like. So, a completely different direction where we're just playing like all gas, no brakes. We're coming in. It's just tiny dude swing this amber non-stop.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what we were testing recently in our TheCardGuyz fun stuff. We were like even testing like Revolting Gesture, which is the 1 cost. You just use a tunic off of that. Your next cat gets +3 and create a might. We were playing Sadistic Scowl, which was a great card. It was really good when you lined up Sadistic Scowl with like Battered, Beaten, and Broken. So you double Intimidate, and then you're just coming in for like 10 on hit, destroy a card, and it's just like, oh my gosh.
It feels like this is what Reinar wanted to be, because like he's got Splattered Skull now to do this, but we just come in for like 20 instead, and we don't have like any random discards to make it happen.
Yeah.
Doesn't the Battered, Beaten, and Broken, doesn't that like destroy an intimidated card if it connects or something like that? Yeah, so
exactly.
Okay. The 2 steps ahead, that's
called
the
synergy.
Blue.
Yeah, 2 steps ahead is a blue that it doesn't have to go against, you slap it on the board. It says next turn create 2 mites and a confidence token. And confidence tokens, if you're unaware, says that you can only block with 2 non-blocking cards. So anyone, like, that's pretty common right now for decks not throwing block cards unless it's explicitly Guardian. So you play this, pair it with a big attack, and now you're coming in for like 12, and they can only put 2 cards in front of it, and that includes equipment. So there's no like, oh, I'll block 6 with my cards and then another 10 with my fridge, and I'll cover everything. That just doesn't happen now.
Yeah. We had a turn yesterday where we were playing against somebody, and we actually got that off with like, I think we were playing Tension in the Air and a Sadistic Scowl, and we came in with like a cut the long story short. And so they had a confidence token. It was coming in for like 17 on hit, discard your hand, and they can only block with 2 cards. So they were just like losing all the value of their whole turn cycle.
Wow.
And it was pretty sick.
So the confidence token seems really
You ended the story a little short there. You remember what they discarded, Taylor?
Dude,
it was a nasty surprise.
Did they really?
I love.
Yeah, they got us a nasty surprise. It was great.
I love Talishar.
Dude,
randos.
Y'all are just getting juiced out here by nasty surprise. That's so funny.
It didn't matter at all, but it was really funny.
Yeah, we were all giggling, and then he activated Tuffnut and swung 8.
Yep.
I was like, cool. We did nothing.
So it seems like you all have went like a much more offensive approach than it sounds like I've been trying to maybe like walk the tightrope a little too much. Do you guys think there's a world where there is a very defensive version of the deck and like you're trying to do something silly like throw hammer every turn for 3? Or like is that just not feasible in this Lyath build?
Like, so the theory is, since you're 5 intellect, every 4 turns you're down a card. You're down a full turn cycle compared to your opponent in deck damage. So if you're playing defensively like that, there's a good possibility that they can just actively fatigue you. Like, way easier than you ever think. Because, like, so if you're playing, like, let's say 15 turns, that would mean that you are 15 cards. You've drawn 15 cards more than your opponent. And so if you're playing into, like, a Florian or Verdance and you're playing defensively, they're just going to fatigue you and you have no game. Like, it's just over. So we thought the same thing, like Peace of Mind fits the curve with Rampart. So you're playing these 2-card 8s and stuff like that. But in reality, it doesn't really work like that because you just get Omega fatigued by anybody with a half a brain.
No, it makes sense. I actually agree with you guys that it's not going to be like that, but...
Yeah.
It feels a lot like what if you played Florian, but the only thing you could do is swing Reaping Blade every turn. You couldn't even activate Grasp.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
I never thought about it that way. That's a very good analogy.
yesterday we were playing and Sam said something that like just like stuck in my mind. It's just like Lyath is just like the Vincent of Guardians. I'm just like, yeah, it's kind of like Ranger-esque. Because you're just like buffing up a single attack and throwing it, and on the turns you don't have an attack, you just sit there and you block 6 and take 14 and pass the turn. So it's like you have to like be cognizant of like your turn cycles with how you're arsenaling and stuff like that. So like there's some skill involved in everything, and the deck building, of course, is going to be changing rapidly over the next like 2 or 3 weeks. With we assume like the blues are going to get a little bit more tighter. You're going to assume like which cards are actually good. Like we were playing like Battered, Beaten, and Broken, Cut, to long story short, No Tall Tales, stuff like that, which we think we're okay, but, someone that's going to spend the next, 60 hours of the next week figuring the deck out will probably cut a few of these and, get everything down to a good ratio. But we assume that what's going to happen is you're going to have a main board aggro matchup, and then you're going to be able to play, like, sideboard cards that are going to help you into Earth and Guardian with, like, Bully Tactics and stuff like that. Cards that allow you to not get Omega fatigued by defensive decks is what I'm assuming will eventually happen with the evolution of this deck.
Makes sense.
All right, well, that's a good baseline for where we think Lyath is going. Let's take it to the other side of the coin. Pleaides. What are we thinking?
I know you never played Magic, but there's a deck in Magic, and it's called Dice Factory. And all you do is you just move dice around, and you win games by moving dice around. That is this deck.
That sounds familiar, all right?
Okay, you guys are welcome.
So, my initial take has been that I think Pleaides is the earliest winner of this set and from the Armory deck. Somebody said the other day, I think it was TCG Talk in my Discord, was saying that he thinks this is the most ready to go out of the box Armory deck we've had yet, which I think makes a lot of sense. And with a few upgrades, you could make the deck very, very solid, especially if you already have a lot of the generic staples, like over the course of the game. But Pleaides is going to be the early winner, in my opinion, because she's the easiest to build. Getting red Boulder Drop is very, very solid. Like, I think that helps Guardians kind of everywhere. It's an easy inclusion into the deck for, like, those 2-card plays, because I think that's a big place that Pleaides wants to be. You want to be on these 2-card 7s, or using Tunic to have, like, a 2-card 8 or something like that, I think is a very, very good place to be. Pleaides is the big winner. Lyath is harder to build. It's going to take people longer to figure it out, in my opinion. But, like, out of the gate, Pleaides comes out storming.
I think it's a lot easier to kind of guess where Pleaides wants to go just by reading her hero text. And all the other heroes are a lot more ambiguous, which is going to help a lot with, like, the building. And then they supply you with, hey, here's 60 not entirely optimized cards. It kind of gets you a really good baseline for where the deck should be. It might be a little bit too early to say it's the easiest, Armory deck, because we don't really know where the deck's going to end up, but I can see that definitely being the case down the road. What I thought originally when I was putting this deck together is that I didn't play back when original Monarch existed, but this feels like what I imagined old Prism felt like, because of how many of these auras you have in play. They're all generating you like one value here, there, elsewhere, and they like stick around for a few turns. Like, it's not nearly as insane because they're not like all there doing something and pinging you for one. It's like a little bit more of like a balanced illusionist guardian is what it's felt like for me.
I can flip this and then put a picture that says, "Tell me you never played OG Prism without telling me you never played against OG Prism."
I can see as he's saying this, Zach's about to like start crying on the mic.
I was like, if there was ever a moment I was going to just like fucking crash out while we're recording, this was going to be it. You just compared Guardian Auras to freaking Parable of Humility Luminaris. Arclight Sentinel Luminaris.
Okay, Sam. Later.
It's not a 1-to-1. I'm not saying it is.
Look, Sam. Later, you can play Oldham. I'll play a game as Prism.
Yes.
And we'll have a quick game, and we'll see if you feel that way at the end of it. You'll be like, oh, that was just like Pleaides. That's insane.
If you can say that after the game, you know what? This might just not be the place for me, dog. Like, I don't know what to tell y'all. This is crazy.
I've busted Pleaides. You guys don't know yet. It's It's the most insane deck. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to say it's on that power level by any means, but it feels like that same
Yeah, you're
style of
not.
generating incremental value repeatedly is very prevalent in the deck. Because, like, there are a lot of auras that you want to pop on, like, the next turn that come in with the 2 counters. You can flip it onto the other one, and now you get, like, another 1 cost reduction for another additional turn. So, like, that, like, incremental value gain is what I was trying to draw the parallel to.
No, what you're saying makes a lot of sense, but I think all of the
Oh, okay.
Guardian stands out there would have written me off forever if I didn't like immediately try to like take you and like torch you alive for comparing her to OG Prism. But yes, I do agree with you that there is a lot of like incremental value to be gained. Like, you know, sometimes it's not always as straightforward as, oh, I play this on my turn or I play this on your turn. The game will very situationally depend on how you're playing out these auras. And sometimes, you know, they have the ability to block now. These instants that can block is very powerful. So being able to just like jam it in front one time could be a very impactful part of the game.
Honestly, dude, this deck kind of reminds me of what I would expect like
OG
Hamilton.
Prism?
No, it really kind of reminds me of like what Hamilton would end up playing. Is like these incremental value decks that just like destroy you over time
Yeah.
and just gives you
I
like
think,
enough room to like outplay your opponent.
Yeah, the shell is definitely there. I mean, no one's going to have settled on a 60 after 24 hours with these cards, but I think it's pretty safe to say that these blue auras make the cut. They're just like so
turning
incredibly
point.
powerful. That's the one that
So
is the
turning
repush,
point
or
is
that-
a 3-pitch block 2. Whenever this defends, you have less life than your opponent. The crowd cheers you while this
What
is
is one?
defending, and you've been cheered. It gets +3.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that card's insane.
You take
yeah.
cards like Turning Point and then Cries of Encore. This definitely gives the vibe of like what Taylor's describing, how like Hamilton used like Bullander to just like outvalue people over the course of the game and like walk them into traps. Cries of Encore and Turning Point are the cards that like give me that feel. Because they are, oh, I have like less life than you, or I've done this. Like, let's do things and turn on my hero text. So the other part of that is that I feel like when Bullander came out, the idea of good flesh and blood math wasn't as standard as it is now. So I think more people will gravitate towards Pleaides, which kind of goes back to why I think she is like the best week 1 pick, because there are so many more people in the game who understand like good flesh and blood math nowadays than there were back then. So Pleaides is an easy pick to be able to like play week 1, especially because of her Armory deck.
Oh yeah.
And there's some LSS favoritism happening in the heroes, I believe. I'm not gonna say much, but like, you know, there's like $1,000 hero card. There's the Armory deck. She got a lot of the extended art and cold foils in the gym pack. You know, she's got a lot. I could do this all day, but you could definitely feel that she got like kind of like the Aurora treatment, where they're like, people are gonna love this hero. Let's bling her out so everyone. Yeah, exactly. And they were right about Gravy. They're going to be right about Pleaides. Everyone's going to be spending a lot of money on this hero. So whenever I sit across from my opponent, I know that their deck's worth 17 grand.
I'm not going to go into it. Let me immediately give you 3 examples of why I think this is happening.
I mean, the decks, I think everyone can kind of see there is like a shell here that is pretty powerful. I don't know how powerful yet, but it's definitely not a bad deck out the gates, and I think calling it for week 1 is the most, I guess, solved out of week 1 and probably performing best as a result. I think that's a pretty fair take.
Yeah.
I actually have the joy of not playing ProQuest week 1 because I have other things that I've already signed up to do. So I get to learn from everybody else's mistakes and then just take all
Why'd
the
you say it so ominously?
So ominously?
Yeah, why'd you do that?
I'm not nearly as weird as you are. I'm not going to play golf. I got invited to Jackson, Tennessee to come to what they call their fall festival and come hang out and like meet people and like just be there all day and like enjoy the festival. So I'm going to do that week 1 of ProQuest.
Damn, Ren Fair type deal, or is this just like a festival in general?
It's like a festival, but like I've got like I think I'm gonna have like a booth and stuff, and I'm like set up and like sign cards and take pictures and hang out all day. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about it. Begrudgingly, I wish it wasn't on week 1 of ProQuest season, but you know, when they were putting the event together in May, I don't think they knew that.
That's
I didn't
Very
know that we had
reasonable.
like a celebrity. Is this like a niche micro internet celebrity? Agriblade 96?
Oh,
They saw that 5K grand, they're like, put him in.
listen, you guys think I'm famous now? Wait until I dress up as Pleaides on stream. Numbers
Oh,
going through the
baby.
roof, dog. Through the
There better be
roof.
some feet pics.
Is that for the 24-hour stream?
It is not for the 24-hour stream.
Oh,
It's
man.
actually on the 20th. It's coming up like this week, like this next weekend
Oh,
here. It's
yeah.
like, yeah. I've got the wig, I've got the makeup, I got everything. I got the crop top, dog. Like I'm telling you, it's laying out. Like you should
Wait.
see it.
Can you just like use that for the podcast next week? Can
Dude,
you just like dress?
I'm in. If you think I won't
Incredible.
roll in like that, like I'm in.
Wow.
Perfect.
I'm doing it.
Speaking
So
of-
I'm doing it on Saturday, which, we normally record on Saturday night. So, maybe
Oh, yeah, let's
I
do
just
this.
leave it on for a few hours and then we
Hey?
record that night.
Oh,
Well, our guest
fantastic.
next week is from Europe, so we probably do have to do it a little bit earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, because we can't do it at like 3 o'clock his time.
He twisted my arm.
Perfect. We got the plan.
Well, speaking of Pleaides' feet, the Armory deck has some pretty cool boots.
What the fuck was that transition?
Sam just came so ready with shit today. Like, first we got Prism, now we got Pleaides' feet. Sam is here. He's ready today.
Oh my god. You sick bastards.
Pleaides' Armory deck. One of these cool cards in the Armory deck, other than the ones we were talking about, Red Boulder Drop being an all-star. Boots to the board. This card says it's got block 2 in the bottom right. It's got temper on it. And it says whenever you block with this, you may pay up to 3 resources and create that many toughness tokens. Well, let me tell you a little secret about this card. It's got Pleaides' feet. She's clearly in her high heels, getting her groove on. It just says revered in the bottom. It doesn't say you have to play it in only Pleaides. And I gotta say, there's a hero out there that I think would really enjoy getting an extra card out of his hand at the low cost of 3 toughness tokens. And that's my boy Tuffnut. When I saw that this card was revered only, ooh, I was like, we might not even be running Scab Skins and Brute. Isn't that insane? No.
I've been playing a lot of Tough Nut. That's like been like my deck choice when brewing. And
Alright,
Dude,
so
these
why are
boots are
Scabs
hot.
so much more important?
no. I'm saying that these are much better than Scabs.
Okay.
okay.
I thought you were
okay.
disagreeing
I
with
thought you were
Sam the way
disagreeing.
you said that.
Oh, I do love to disagree. So okay, so the reason
We
that
noticed.
Scabs are better than these is because you can roll dice and have action points.
Oh, it pisses off your opponent too. That's definitely a plus. You get that mental edge.
The mental edge is a real thing. Like, let me tell you.
Yeah.
So I actually did not notice these say revered only on them. I just assumed
yeah.
that all the cards say like Pleiades only. But no, this actually seems insane. And it's temper. You get to do
Yeah.
it twice.
Yes.
That's
It's crazy.
insane, dog. Yo, Tuffnut about to lace up those silver boots and go rolling. That's
That's what I'm
insane.
saying.
That's actually crazy. Jesus.
Yeah. So Tuffnut, I think in general, is going to be a hand that enjoys either doing the good old block 2, send in attack from Arsenal, and then activate Rock and Swing, or maybe even block all 3 cards. So there are gonna be a lot of times where you want to dump your hand in order to activate Rock, and this card really enables that. It also enables a lot of cards that you care about toughness tokens in your deck, like Vim and Vigor. That card's bananas. Let me tell you. Oh, nothing feels better
Looking
then
at this card.
playing Vim and Vigor. If you have generated some way to make it go again, as with a blue, and then you get to activate Tuffnut, slam a yellow 6 in there, swing Rock. Oh, the turn cycle math on that is crazy.
Yeah. He's got probably the second best turn cycle math in Fab right now, in my opinion. Once he's fully tuned, I expect him to just. The issue is that you have to build the deck in a way that can beat go wide heroes like Syndra or something like that. Because if they're just a go tall hero, I think Tough Nut is just gonna start eating those decks alive. Because you're just one card block 9. And there's I guess I go fuck myself. Cool. Yep.
Yeah.
Good game, man. Cool. Because for a 3 intellect hero, he's like so wildly more complicated than you'd ever give him credit for.
Oh yeah.
He's absolutely insane.
This has honestly been one of the more complicated decks to play that they've released other than like Gravy recently. And it's like been a blast. I would not have expected that. You know, you look at Tuffnut, he's like, what's his tag? Like the bumbling whatever?
Bubbling Hulkster.
The bumbling Hulkster. So, you know, you don't look at the bumbling Hulkster and think this deck is going to be very complicated and have a lot of nuance to it. But my goodness, does it. It's so fun. And there's so much to think about on every turn cycle. It's crazy.
I think what's really funny. What were we going to say, Zach?
Oh, I was just going to say that admittedly, I thought this deck was going to be very straightforward. Like,
No,
I figured
no, it's
this
really
deck
funny.
would be like, oh, you throw the 2 for 6 from Arsenal with Go Again, like, and it cheers you or whatever. The revered brute card, I can't remember what it's called. Like, if you binge cheered, it gets Go Again. And then it's like, oh, we do this, and then we activate Tuffnut and throw the rock. And, like, that's
It's
going
way
to
more
be
complicated.
our game plan. But you guys are not the first people to tell me that I know that are, like, brute stands, have, like, reached out to me and been like, hey, like, there's actually a lot to this. You might enjoy playing this deck because of, like, the nuance level to it.
It's really funny because like the 5 intellect hero I think is going to be like 10 times more straightforward than the 3 intellect hero. It's just like that's the funniest thing ever to me. It's just like,
all right, stick with me for a second. Did they do it that way because at 5 intellect you're smarter? It's easier to build, even though it looks more complex. But at 3 intellect, you're just bumbling around. You see what I did there, Taylor? You just bumbling around.
But let me give you like a side thing. Is that like Tuffnut is playing a 3 int hand, but he's got like a phantom int that you have to manipulate by using cards in your deck. And there's cards in your hands that rely on what the card in the top of your deck is. So you're playing like almost 2 different hands. As funny as that sounds, you're almost playing to like percentage math, and you're trying to manipulate the top of your deck kind of like an Azalea did. But it's more reliant on that because then you have cards like Good Nature Brutality, which is like an insane card, by the way, if you guys haven't read that card. Good Nature Brutality is a yellow 2 cost. Whenever it defends, if you have no cards in your hand, it gets +6 defense, and the crowd cheers you. So you're playing this like math game with vigors because you want to make sure that you have a yellow on top so you can swing rock as like a 1 card. Well, 0 card, 7 with quotations because you have that phantom int from Tuffnut's ability. So it's like, dude, it is every turn is so hard to block. But like you have to block to get the full value out of Tuffnut, which is fantastic design whenever you force your players to interact on both sides of the combat chain. So like as a hero, he's like one of the best designed heroes, I think, out of the set. I like him. He's my #1 designed hero from the set. From design standpoint, because he's got so many powerful cards.
Like there were so many people, at least in my inner circles, that were like memeing, loving Tuffnut, like changing their profile picture to the rock. Shout out to Emma.
Yeah,
just like he's been like Tuffnut for like 3 weeks in various discords before all the cards came out and stuff. Like, yeah, I thought it was like all a meme, but actually getting your hands on the cards and trying to play this deck, it's so cool. Oh man, this is one of the decks I'm more excited to dig into.
So I was actually going to say, I was going to make a joke when Taylor said, oh, like we're playing with the top card of our deck. It's like this like weird like extra card that we have access to every turn. I was going to be like, Sam, how long before he mentions Azalea? Like how long did we go? And 15 seconds later, he was like, it's just like Azalea. And I was like, yeah, there it is. There it is. I'm not saying you're wrong. I was just curious how long it would take you to, bring it up.
It's like there are like cursory ways to interact at the top of your deck in here, like the new visit the boneyard to like put something on top. It's not like you have no interaction with the top of your deck, and it's not like the most efficient way. I've seen people try to like jam clash cards in their deck so they know how to play out their turn when they block a little bit, but I feel like that's a little counterintuitive because if you've already blocked, you probably there are definitely times where you won't have an opportunity to like block more to like change up how you work your hand anyway. So there's a lot of like cool ideas about where to take the deck yet. I don't think anyone's quite cracked it. There's probably like a 48 card yellow main deck of all 6s, so you always try to pitch a blue to an attack and then flip into rock with activating the toughness part of Tuffnut's hero tech. So there's so many different like avenues I can think of just like working this deck already. It's so cool.
It's gonna be a good time. I'm gonna assume that he's gonna be like the guardian killer because like
Mhm.
the way that he blocks and attacks is just like, and I think he's gonna be able to fatigue most guardians.
Well, he's
Funny as
just
that sounds.
incredible fatigue math because all these toughness tokens
Yeah.
just translate to like an additional card's worth of fatigue math. It's crazy.
And like
Rock
his
is
hero ability is already the
2.3.
Phantom Int. Yeah, exactly. So like he's pretty much playing like 4.5 cards off of a 3 int hand.
Yeah, I think I would imagine that if Guardian is ever top of the meta, Tuffnut's going
Oh,
to be
he's
like an absolute monster.
so I want to transition over to the other brute in the set. KO Armed and Dangerous from Heavy Hitters. So I'm a big fan of Dude,
They've got a lot of generic brute cards in the set. A lot of like good additions to just the brute class in general. I think KO would make a lot of use out of these cards.
So I mean, you get a second swing big, like
third swing big. There's 3 in the set. What are you talking about?
It gets even
2 for
crazier.
8.
It's a 2 for 7 that's gonna ping you. You block.
Oh, you're talking about the Lupine Fiasco spoiler, John spoiler.
Yes, John
I mean,
Spoiler that blocks for 0.
all those cards are great. I completely agree. I mean, KO's probably gone by the end of ProQuest season, right?
Yeah, that's what we assumed.
That's-
He needs 17%. Like we actually had we got like some of the team in there and we're talking and we're like, okay, how much percentage does he need to win? 17%. There's 11 battle hardens, 3 callings before worlds. He's gone.
And a full ProQuest season. I mean, like,
Yeah, he's
he
he's
has
gonna
to
get
be.
murdered.
Yeah.
Those are pretty
'Cause,
high.
like-
Taylor and I were talking earlier, and we think this is like the Viscerai of Rosetta.
Yeah.
Where these decks will probably shine immediately after ProQuest season, because the new KO will probably just rocket his way all the way up the charts.
Yeah, because like I played Tuffnut into Aaron's KO, and I played like a 15 value turn. Like I was like, it was good math, and then I ended the game at like 0, and he ended the game at like 21, and he had like 22 value per turn for like 7 turns, and I'm just like, okay,
You're talking about,
I
like,
guess.
he was playing Heavy Hitters KO, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, dude, the deck's
Yeah.
that
The
deck
Song
is-
of Sinew is so bananas in that deck.
I'm
There
so
are like
glad.
3 different ways you can pair that card for like insane value. So I'll be walking through a little bit of them. Let's say you have a Bear Fangs in hand. Any card that can pitch to Bear Fangs, Song. And you can block with the 4th card. You can now play Song, and off the top of your deck, you can hit Sea Legs. You can hit Beast Within, so now you have an arsenal. It's just an incredible value play. A yellow 0 for 4 that also pitches for 2 in that deck almost all the time. The worst I've ever done with that deck is I played Song of Sinew, I saw 2 more on top of my deck, and I was like, I don't even care. Next turn, I'm attacking for 18 without going again. Like,
So
it's crazy.
it sounds like if you are unsure of where you're at in CC and you don't know what to play for ProQuest season, start building Armed and Dangerous. It sounds like what you guys are telling, like,
No. If you already own the cards, do not go out and buy this deck. This is the one time I'm gonna tell people, do not buy the deck because he's not gonna be around for more than a month, in my opinion. If
Okay.
he lasts till Worlds, I will be shook. It will blow my mind.
Yeah, it'll say
If he's
something about
legal
how
for Worlds.
drastically far off we are with our like meta predictions.
Yeah, exactly. Which is great though. Which is great content because then we come back and people can insult us, which is engagement on these videos, and that's like a win for everybody.
That's
I get to
fantastic.
read your comments of you demeaning me, and I get the content. So this is a win.
you heard it here.
I'm rage baiting, baby.
Demean us.
But
Taylor pays extra for that.
anyway, back to Song of Sinew. I'm not done. This card's insane. So let's say you have Blood Rush in your hand in Song of Sinew. No longer do you have to guess about what you're going to draw and pray it's enough to make your turn function. You've got 4 cards to look for the exact number of reds and blues that you want to draw off the top. It's
Well,
like,
you get to stack them back in the order you want, right? Off of
yes,
song?
you do. Exactly. It's so good. I just like, every time I play this card, I'm like, this is like what Cast Bones wanted to be, and like just better in so many different ways.
Mm.
The cast bone lady does it again.
Yeah, she's, oh my goodness, this bananas. And now they've also released the 2 for 5 that its base is higher than, or if its base is 6 or higher, not base, sorry, if its attack is 6 or higher, it gets go again. And then you've also got the new Brute card as a 3 for 7 if you've pitched a 6, it gets go again. So there are so many go again options in KO now that I'm like, do I even want the discard outlets? But I want the hero ability. I want to get my +1 might all the time. How are you going to balance this? You know, there's just like,
Somebody
you can
will.
build the deck. Yeah. We might not even hit the real version of KO that's like,
no, I have too many good
best.
options for my deck. What am I gonna
Yeah.
do?
Yeah. And if anyone knows me, I like playing the good decks. They get me excited. And I'm really excited about Armed and Dangerous right now.
Sounds good.
I'm so sorry to anybody playing any type of value deck into the ProQuest season. Get round 1 into KO, and there's like Sash 35, and you're like, this deck sucks. You're like, see, because I've been around for a while. I remember when him and his peak, it was miserable. I'm excited one more time.
I like heavy hitters meta, dude.
All right,
Yeah,
so what if
but
we
that's
did
'cause
heavy
Victor was
hitters, but like all of the cards do like 6 more damage?
Bring back
KO,
Art
All
of
the turn
War.
cycle. Sorry, not all the
KO
individual
was
cards.
good during that meta though. Like Victor didn't just have free wins all the time. Like I mean, sure, like when you played against the Katsus or whatever, like it was fine. But like KO was a very relevant deck, and Victor struggles into KO, always has.
And he's going to continue.
I agree.
Let
I
me tell
do
you,
think
This,
the addition of Red Boulder Drop does open up some new avenues for old school Guardians to like see play.
I think it definitely
Yep.
helps. It's definitely a good card. But when you compare Boulder Drop to the absolute like treasure trove that they're giving generic Brute, it's not quite the same, because they kind of did that with Brute too. They've got the 3 for 7 on hit, discard a card unless you reveal a card that is equal to or greater than the amount of damage dealt by this card, which is really, really close to Boulder Drop text, to be honest, for most decks.
So here's what I'm going to say. With all of the cool things they gave Brute, now they did rework the Guardian class in a lot of ways, which I think a lot of people have been aiming for. Like that's what we've wanted over the last like couple of years. I think they gave us Red Boulder Drop because they realized if they didn't, people were going to be at the gates with all of the cool Brute cards they got. I just think there were too many Guardian stands out there who wanted another Victor card or who like wanted a. I mean, it fits into any Guardian deck. It's a 2-card 7 that disrupts everything, so it just works out really well. But yeah, I think they knew people would be at the gates with the pitchforks if they didn't give us something cool.
There's a lot of cool stuff in here. I think like when Super Slam came out, I had like thoughts that if we ever went back to heavy meta, I wonder if the KO matchup for Victor is better because now we've got cast homes and we can kind of like match the value maybe. And now this set came out, and if we were to ever go back, it would not even be like anywhere near close, I think.
It's laughable how far off it is now.
Yeah.
When we got cast homes, there was like worlds where you could race and you could do things, but now, no, it's immediately laughable. KO just rolls Victor in every facet of the game at this point. Do you guys think that RKO is gonna make an impact on CC?
First point of contention. Is it RKO? Is it Cheeto? What are we calling him?
I'm calling it RKO. Don't at me. I love wrestling. I love Randy Orton. RKO.
Sure.
RKO fits with the theme of the set. But Cheeto, man, it just kind of rolls off the tongue. I don't know.
I guess it depends on how hungry I am when we're talking about KO here in a little bit.
It's like back when The Hunted came out. I heard Slippy, which is one that stuck. And then I also heard a Crackney, which was really fun to say. So it will probably be RKO.
Dude,
I think
go ahead.
I like RKO. I like RKO.
I was just gonna say when somebody said Crackney to me, and I was like, no, absolutely not. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that on camera. That will not be on the internet anywhere.
Don't worry, I did it for you, so you're fine.
Oh, thanks, man.
I also like Slippy though because like people would just start randomly be like, "Oh, it's the Slipster," and you're just like, "What?" And it would just like digress. It's like, oh, okay,
sure. I love it.
All right,
Crackney well, was like,
first, then. Breakpoints is team RKO, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, actually, this is old. This is before you, Sam. When Starvo first came out, they were trying to name him Joestar.
Okay.
Why?
I see why.
I don't know. It was Starvo. It was like, yeah, dude, it was wild.
Joe
There was like an
Star?
argument.
It's an anime
Joe
reference.
Star. That sandwich doesn't even have mayonnaise on it. It's got
Don't
nothing
forget about
on
Captain Planet. Captain Planet was on there too.
That,
but that was because
great. I still call him Captain Planet. I love that one. I wish they would
That
have
one
stuck
makes
with
sense
it.
to me. Like, I heard someone call Starvo that with no context, and I'm like, oh, I can see why you'd say that.
Okay, hold on. Let me give you like a 10-second context. The first time it was ever played on any stream, every time Matt W would activate Starvo, he would say Captain Planet. He just said it to his opponents. And
Yeah.
it was tilting.
Oh, that's
Was
not even
great.
fun. Bazinga is so much more fun.
What? I mean, I watched The Big Bang Theory. I know what you're on about, but like, come on. Like,
No,
You-
just
you-
saying
Sam,
Bazinga
you never-
every time you have it just like infuriates people. I love
Sam,
it.
you never got the joy of revealing cards and being like, with our powers combined, crippling crush. Like every time. Every time. I was the most toxic Starvo player ever. Like,
It was so like the first time I ever watched it, I was like, I watched him like ult and ult somebody like 4 times in a row. I was like, this fucking hero sucks. I probably have like DMs from people that day, and I was like, I want to go die. Like hell yeah. He
makes
did it,
sense.
boys.
Makes sense. I remember when the hero came out, everybody was like, oh, I don't even know if you're going to be able to get all 3 elements in the deck and make it function. This is probably going to be pretty mediocre.
I loved it.
How wrong could they be? That's funny.
But anyway, if you can't tell by the way that we are talking, RKO is probably not a good deck.
This
There
is
you go.
part of the reason why I'm not very I guess I'm not very excited about the reviled heroes, because I think Lyath, there's bones here. You can work with this deck. I cannot find a build of RKO that like functions against real decks. I like
One of my yeah, dude, the best thing about the hero, bar none, and I love this, is that I go to the purple chat and I go to the RKO Discord. I'm like, hey, what does this hero do? And this was after we saw all the cards. And the first comment, some random guy comments back, goes, let me know when you find out. And that was it. And that's like the 3rd message left. And I was like, it's been like 3 days and no one's like talked about this hero at all.
Are
I'm
you
like,
serious?
Nice. Dude, it's like, what do you do with the hero? Tell me what you do.
I don't go to Purple Discord very often.
All
Like,
right.
I try to dodge Purple Discord if I can.
For
I
like
love
a very
purple.
real concept on this deck, I think you want to be running like just 9 copies of Mocking Blow, I think. And trying to float like Vigors between turns with some of these generic brute cards. But it doesn't make sense because a lot of them are like, if you want to get like a lot of Vigors, a lot of it revolves around clashing. And the deck runs to run a ton of blues that aren't good at clashing. So if you want to actually make use of this hero power to like buff, the only card that like you want to do is the blue, or like blues with on hits, and the red that the doubles its power or its base power. So you want to like turn the base to 6 so it turns into like
Big
a 3-card
bully?
12,
I think.
essentially. Something like that. Like that's the only card that like makes sense, other than just running like 9 Mocking Blows. And that card, you need to be higher life for it to work. It just sucks.
Okay. I proposed something in team chat. It got 0 comments on. I know some people read it because they mentioned it to me later. But I was like, why don't we play blue Nimby? And then we just blue Nimby our opponent, go
Take
get
the
blue
Nimblism.
Minnowism, and then just like activate KO and make it like a 1-card 6.
It's like just it just
Yeah,
doesn't
but that's
do
like-
it. Yeah.
But
Is that the best play we're making?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's like the ceiling of this deck right now, like, that we can figure out is just
I mean, to be fair,
we're
one
turning
card
our
6
blues
is
into
cool.
6 attacks.
Like,
right, thank you, Zach.
like,
Thanks. So
I'm here for a 1 card 6. The problem is like if that's the best thing we're doing,
exactly.
where like there's a reason that Victor sucks. The best thing we're doing is throwing chokeslam at somebody. I'm kidding, obviously, but so I think for everybody at home, I don't know how you guys feel about this, and guys, let us know in the comments how wrong you think I am. I feed off of being told I'm wrong, so let it fly in the comments. The 4 heroes in like order of how good they're going to be, I think is going to be Tuffnut at number 1, Pleaides at number 2, Lyath at number 3, and then RKO is what we're looking at. Like when it settles, give it 3
Okay,
weeks.
okay.
What about OG?
3 weeks? No. So like, OGKO is number 1 in my opinion.
I hate you all so much. It's the 4 heroes from the set.
Yeah,
only.
I know.
Yeah.
I think that there's a way that Pleaides will be designed that she will be better than Tuffnut is over time. Maybe like
Okay.
in specific metas, Tuffnut will be better. But I think as like a general into the field, like this is a battle hardened, what deck do I take? I think Pleaides will probably be the better option a lot of the time.
Okay.
But otherwise I think I completely agree with all that.
So you would swap Tuffnut and Pleaides situationally.
Yeah, I think that there's definitely like decks that those two do a lot better in too.
Yeah.
Like there are a lot of ways that you can play that deck for specific win conditions, which is another reason why I wanted to compare it to Illusionist earlier. The blues give you the ability to tool your deck for what you need. So do you need to keep up in value? All right, let's reduce the cost of all my cards so that now I'm making like my auras a 2-card play instead of a 2.3 card play.
Mhm.
Do I need the extra block in this game? Do I increase the amount of toughness that I have in the deck so that I can always block 4 on everything that Syndra or like Aurora-esque type decks throw at me? I think there's a lot of like, there's a lot of knobs that you can turn for specific game plans in the deck, and I think that's very powerful.
Okay. Taylor, what about you? What do you think about the 4 in the order that I listed them?
Well, I think it's just meta dependent. I think like if you look 2 months from now, it might be Pleaides. If you look 4 months from now, it might be Tuffnut. If you see 6 months from now, it might be Pleaides, and it's just gonna be like in my mind, those 2 heroes are like close to the same power level. It's just meta dependent on which one is the best. So it's like hard to really like.
It sounds like you guys think Tuffnut and Pleaides are 1 and 2 though. Like
Yeah.
And it also sounds like you guys think that RKO is last.
Oh yeah, not even close.
Yeah, that's not even close.
Okay.
Like Lyath actually has like an identity of what he wants to be doing and how to achieve that identity. RKO just seems like some cards like I don't even like in my opinion, RKO feels like what like Olympia or Betsy felt like when they released, where he didn't like have an identity other than like 1 or 2 cards that you can kind of like go, oh, that's what they're supposed to be doing. Because like I don't even know why he's KO. There's nothing about his like set that reminds me of KO other than the 6 matters. But like at the same time, that could have been anybody.
Yeah, that's like I thought they were going to do something about giving him his arm back at the end of the day because it the way his hero text reads, it sounds like there should be a way to get an arm.
Yeah.
Well, it's
It
very
says you
different.
start with 1 weapon zone, rather than
Right.
the other one is like you can only equip a one.
You can only
weapon.
have 1 weapon or something like that. And like
Yeah.
this one says you start with 1, which means
Yeah, so,
theoretically there's a world where like you should be able to like buy something back.
That's what it sounds like. Maybe they're gonna like hybridize him in with like a mech or something and make him get like a mechanical arm, and he's now got like a 2-handed claw that does more damage or something. I don't know.
I was convinced that this limited set was going to have a macro that like over the course of the game as you achieve things allowed you to like buy weapons and like equip things and stuff like that. But obviously I was
Oh, kind of like a Orb Weaver Spinneret
something
kind of
like
card.
that. Yeah, but like I was 30 kinds of wrong on that. Clearly there's just no weapons. GG, get wrecked, nerd. Like I
was listening to you talk about that in the Arsenal Pass episode, like right before the set was supposed to come up in Montreal, and I was like, oh no. There's like no shot. Like Emma's sending me him opening his box and like all the stuff that's in it, and I'm like, oh, it's not in here at all.
Oh yeah. No, yeah.
I also love you doing that on stream when you're like the reprint policy sucks, and then they just like everyone knows that it's about like 18 reprints about to come out with like 7 L's and like 14 Majestics.
Everybody
just
but
like,
me.
Yeah, and it was like, oh, it really sucks.
If there's
and then we
ever
saw
been
the
a
gym
moment
pack
where like you wonder if I saw the spoiler, like the leaks, and I was lying to you all, that moment on stream should have told you I did not. I was literally
He rage
on
baited
stream,
me so hard.
dude. I was literally on stream talking about how bad LSS's reprint policy is and how I think they need to change it and they need to fix it. And then like a week and a half later, there just needs to be a cut of like Felling, Plow, like Warmongers, all of these cards that are overpriced getting reprinted. So it was like, I'm an idiot. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, I think that them expanding the expansion slot was largely to include a lot of these cards they want to bring back down in price.
It's great. It makes so much
sense. I want
sense.
to do like a super quick aside because I don't think we actually have any time for the wonderful questions we have. We'll have to save them for later.
Oh, dude, let's do the questions. It's fine. 12 o'clock can turn into like 12:05. Let's do some questions.
Okay,
All right.
rapid. Go.
What was your first level up breakout moment playing Fab? Whether it was when you won your first Armory, first PQ, what was that moment where you felt like, I get it?
Ooh.
Got it. Okay.
All right, I can go first
Go
while you
ahead,
guys think real quick.
Oh.
Okay, Sam.
When I started playing this game, I sucked a lot, and I think that's something everyone can resonate with, because I went to Armory, and I'm playing against, like, Merrick Kemp round 2 every game, and I just get my ass handed to me. I'm losing, like, 25-0, and that was, like, my Armory for, like, the first 3 months until I finally started understanding the game, and then probably 3 months later, I won my first Armory, where I'm finally starting to get the hang of the more complicated things in this deck, or in this game. And I think the very first time I won an Armory, it was like 3 weeks after I'd gone like 3-0 repeatedly, and I was still coming up second because I wasn't playing the other guy that was 2-0. I was like so upset, and I finally did it. I was like, oh, I did it! I'm finally getting there. I'm finally starting to get the hang of this game.
It's awesome. Taylor?
Mine's probably when I top date my first ProQuest, because like I've still never like actually won a ProQuest. I have more Battle-Hardened wins than I do ProQuest wins, which is like the
Really? That's interesting.
A weird problem to have. Can't relate.
Yeah, it's like I suck at ProQuest. I have never won a ProQuest. I top 8 all of them, and then like top 8 match, it's just like either variance gets me in the ass, or I just like shit the bed. So it's just like the first time I made top 8 of ProQuest, I'm like, oh, I can actually do this. And then it's just like I top 8 every ProQuest, and I never win. And then I just go to like my third calling and come in the finalist, and then win the next Battle Hardened. And it's just like, okay, I guess I get it now. There was like a no moment. It was like average player, calling finalist, Battle Hardened win, average player.
I was my first like rated event win. I won an RTN over in the Charlotte area, playing Victor during that meta, and that was the moment for me that I felt like I could actually cross the mountaintop. So many times before that, had I top 8'd, I had lost in the quarters, the finals. I had always been the bridesmaid and never the bride. And winning that RTN was like this massive weight off my shoulders of like, I can do this. I can win events. I can get there. And after that season was when I won my first ProQuest too. So it just kind of all started like coming together for me. So definitely the first RTN win.
All right. Kind of in the same vein. Andrew says, I would love to hear about what you think it means to have a winning mentality in Fab. Like, how do you approach each game in a tournament? How do you deal with tilting games or players? How do you keep yourself focused on the game and your decisions instead of the results or outcomes?
That's a great question.
I don't think I should answer this one because like I play with my emotions on my sleeve. like when I'm playing good, like I'm really good at keeping the ball rolling. But when I'm playing bad or like something bad's happening, I'm like in the downer. So I'm a really streaky player. So like I'll either like go like 10-0 or 0-10. Like if you look at like my data, it's like I have like a 75% win rate in rated events, but it's like the ones that I'm losing are like 0-3, 0-3, 0-3, 0-3, and then I'm like 11-2, 10-2, 10-2. So it's just like I actually want to hear y'all's stuff because I need help.
Taylor, I meant to ask you, who are you?
See, exactly.
Sam, go ahead, buddy.
Oh, man. All right. So I think a lot of this comes down to having like tangible goals that aren't like literally tangible. Like I'm not saying have a goal of I want to win a PQ. It's more of I want to get better at this thing and tracking that over a series of like weeks probably. Like I want to learn how to pitch stack is one of the examples that people use all the time. So that I think one of the great things about pitch stacking is you learn what's left in your deck and your opponent's deck if you can do it at the same time. It helps you do that math of like what's in their hand really easily if you can kind of keep all that together. So having like tangible goals of I want to be able to do XYZ better over and over and over again. Kind of like building your baseline for skills. Like, oh, I want to learn how to play like when I see a suboptimal hand, can I see all of the lines? Can I see what one gets me 10 value versus 6 value on these hands that kind of suck.
I think that's great. That's a very good way to look at it. I would say that from like a big tournament perspective, I think there are two things that help keep me push the right direction. Most of the time, I tilt just like anybody else does, and like I fall off the mountain just like everybody else does. But I love Flesh and Blood. I love playing the game. Going to big events is genuinely just like a vacation for me. Like it's very strenuous trying to win and like all that kind of stuff, but I love seeing the community, seeing my friends playing the game. So like when I'm there, I'm very happy. I'm very upbeat because I love being there and playing the game. The second thing that I think helps keeps me like centered when I'm playing throughout, like the like Pro Tours are a great example. That's a 3-day event if you do well enough. On the first day, I'm not thinking about winning the $50,000 or the the big check and the trophy and all that kind of stuff. I'm thinking one game at a time. We need to do this to get to day 2. I think it's very imperative that you have a overall tournament goal, but that you have a day 1 goal, you have a day 2 goal, and then you have a day 3 goal. You need to break it up and you need to make it more realistic for yourself to say, this is my goal today, and then I'm going to take a breath, I'm going to take it one game at a time, and I'm just going to try to get there.
Yeah, I think it helps also if those goals aren't always, like I was saying, results oriented, because I think one of the easiest ways for people to tilt is like, I want the day 2, I want to get like X2 at day 1, and then your X3, we still make day 2 and you're upset about it.
Mhm.
It's like, you can go 0-2 and win the Pro Tour. Look at Pablo Pintor. I mean, like, we're not all as incredible as him, but like, you can go have like a bad start and still cash.
Right.
Plenty of people do that all the time.
Yep.
In fact, I like some of my best tournament results have been in the submarine bracket where I'm 0-1 and I just like undefeated for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
So that was my first PQ or my first RTN win was I went 0-1 and then I didn't lose a single game. So don't get tilted just because you lose one. Always know that you can still do well until you're mathematically out.
For sure.
So if you do get tilted round 1, just know that you have a warrior spirit and you should be proud of yourself.
The best thing that helps me not tilt, and I actually got this advice from my wife, is after the game, I step away from everything. I go to the bathroom, I go outside, I do whatever I have to do to be by
Cry.
myself, and I go, and I like exhale, and I stand there for a few seconds, and I just try to let it all go, and then I go back inside, which I know sounds like pretty lame, but it helps me mentally reset
little
more
bit.
than anything. It works though. It works for me.
I like to go to the bathroom, get in a stall, like, and just start crying whenever I
This
start
is
losing.
not gonna
Like
be-
I'm like 0-2, and I'm like, I thought I was gonna win this. Oh my god, I suck. And someone's like, "Hey man, are you good in there?" I'm like, "Leave, leave.
Sam,
I don't have to talk right now."
Sam, what's the next question? God.
All right. Cardfight King asked us, what do the pros or pro teams do to separate them from other players being at the higher level in the game? We all have access to the same cards, but how do you go from Armory Andy to Pro Tour Paul?
I actually have the perfect answer to this because, like, I feel like I've seen the whole range now. I've like played with the best players in the world. I've played in the dumpsters. The answer is really simple and really funny. It's just obsession. Like that's like the difference between like a great player and a good player is obsession. It's like these guys that are like that you see playing like 8-0 and stuff. They eat, breathe, live fab. Like I can like DM these guys and be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" They're like playing fab or thinking about fab or like, "Hey man, how's work going?" He goes, "I've worked on 6 decks today. Here's version 16." It is literally. It feels like it's just obsession.
That one feels targeted a little bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The version 16 one. Yeah, that one's for you. But it's like
Alright.
that is like what I've really noticed is like it is just like people want to be playing these games and just loving it.
Yeah, I think that loving the game is definitely part of it. I think the biggest thing that I see that separates your Michael Hamiltons from like your top 64 at Pro
Us?
Tour, yeah, I guess us. That's a good way. Is that they do not make mistakes. Like it is so rare for them to make like a mistake. I guess you could qualify some things as mistakes because they thought they were making the right play, but they're making a conscious decision to make what they think is the best play every single time, and it doesn't ever miss. So when you have like these based decks like Michael does, he finds the best math line every single time and never misses. So that's a lot. Like, it's a very difficult thing to achieve, but you have to have such a you have to be so locked in all day long that you just don't make mistakes, and that's like the biggest difference that I see. Where if you're Armory Andy, we're lucky if you make it out of like one game without making 36 mistakes.
Yeah, it's like the heuristics. It's like that's what I play. Is like I play pretty much to a flow chart. Like if you've ever watched me play, I play very quickly because like I believe that like 95% tile correct play is just like a flow chart or like a heuristics of heroes. So when I'm playing very well, I play very quickly because it's like I draw my hand up and I automatically know what I'm doing and how I'm going to do it because I've played so many games on the hero that it is like heuristically the best way to do it.
So I feel like this is a very different answer for me than it is for you guys. Because like you guys are on a team. You guys have a lot of those resources that I think a lot of us don't have access to. And like I'm not on a team. Like all of my testing I do independently or I do with my friends that are willing to help me out. But the biggest thing that really helps me out the most is my community. Like the people in my chat push me in directions that I wouldn't even consider. They're like, have you thought about this card? And it's like, no, let's try it. Let's see what happens. And so like a lot of my best ideas, and they're not even my ideas, come from people who are willing to be nice enough to help me out. So if you feel like you're like right on the edge, like you can't win the ProQuest or you can't, like you're losing your winning ends to like, a battle harden or something like that all the time, find a community. There are plenty of like public communities out there who are willing to like work with you and help and talk and probably need playtesting partners as well. Because, and this is not in any way a bad thing towards like the card guys, but for all of the card guys out there in the world, there are like infinitely more of us who are not on a team who want people to test with and play the game with. And I'm not saying you're always going to get great advice. Sometimes somebody's going to tell you a card's good and it sucks. And that's just how it is. But you have to be willing to try it. And I mean, honestly, Taylor's answer, I feel like just nailed it. Obsession is anything that takes you from this level to this level. Like it's just being obsessed with the game.
Also, side note, if you ever want to, come to the CardGuyz Discord. We're always in there hanging out, chatting, and you could just ask for games and we'll just probably give you games, honestly. I've done it 100 times now. So I'll be like, hey, can you give me a game?
That's a great
Yeah, it's
example.
like, hey, can you... Yeah, just come into chat, because, like, there's probably, like, you'll see Nathan Crawford in there sometimes, Josh, me, Sam. Shit, I've seen Zach in there once or twice whenever he's...
Once or twice.
Not, like, whenever he's not in there, making all that money from LSS.
I'm just trying to sit over here catching strays.
That's a beautiful way to end the podcast. It's been wonderful. If you've made it this long, give us a like, subscribe, tell us how your day is going in the comments, and maybe what if you want specific advice on how to become Pro Tour Paul, give us a shout at the bottom. You guys have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. Okay.